Hello everyone, welcome to a speed build video. Today I'm creating kind of an older vintage kind of grandma style house for my new Let's Play in the Shadow Moon challenge. A little bit about the challenge ahead of time. If you watch the Let's Play, I'll also be explaining it, but it's basically similar to the Not So Berry challenge where you kind of have different generations and each of them have different goals and different traits and aspirations that you give them. And for this one it features vampires, so if you watch my Let's Play you'll see that there'll be a lot of vampire things, and there's our main character is a human girl who wants to be turned into a vampire, but she starts out as human and then she wants a big vampire family. But you'll hear more about that in the Let's Play if you watch it. So right here I'm starting out the house with the floor plan. I'm having a little bit of trouble trying to decide where I wanted to put the kitchen and where I wanted to put the living room, so I kind of switched it back and forth. I wanted to have a nice fireplace in the living room, and I really wanted to put that window seat into the kitchen, so I decided to put it near the front of the house. Um, Over here you'll see I sticking some random couches. I got a little bit ahead of myself and started deciding what couches I wanted to use in the living room, or and how much space they would take up. So I'm just also sticking a fireplace in to see if it'll fit in the space that I left for it. And then I did start doing a little bit of furnishing and getting ahead of myself before I did the walls or the floors. I don't normally build like this. Only sometimes. I usually add the furniture to just see how big I should make the rooms or how much space I need to leave. So here we're just changing up the floors and making the walls white so we can put in some furniture before I decide the color scheme of the walls and everything. I think I usually decide the furniture before I do like wall colors and stuff, because the furniture definitely have more limited colors than the walls. Um, Here I'm just like switching the fireplace again. I was trying to doing a little bit of paneling in the living room, kind of inspired by, I guess, like my own grandma's basement or her living room, or just a little reference photo I was looking at. Let me know what kind of style your grandparents have in their houses, whether they've like renovated and made them modern, or they like keep that old style aesthetic. So here we're adding some windows, just a little bit on the window seat there, and then the windows here. I may have not put them all at the right height here. Some of the windows are lower than the other ones, but I'll go back and fix that later. And then we're adding our door and like the little front porch for like the Victorian style with these little pillar things. So just switching things up here. Yeah, a lot of the houses where I live do have nice little front porches like this, kind of. But I don't know if they make houses like that everywhere. Let me know what kind of houses you guys have where you live. And then I'm adding some bricks, fixing up my window heights, and putting windows throughout the rest of the house too. Yeah, so for the storyline, this house is actually the house of the main character's grandma. So her husband has passed, and then she was living alone. And then the storyline goes where our main character and her father come to live with her because her mother also got sick and passed away, unfortunately. So they just came to live with her so they could take care of her, and then they could also help her out, be close by, and then have like a fresh start themselves. If you guys have any drinks, tea, or coffee that you're having while you're watching the speed build, just like sit back and relax. I have some water here myself, so cheers. Here I'm starting to furnish the living room a little bit, adding like a vase, and like I was looking for a nice old granny style rug. I found it really difficult just to find all of like the different like decorations and stuff in like the miscellaneous kind of decorative area the Sims have, where they just keep a bunch of random things. I find that it's so like it gets disorganized and there's just so many things, it's hard to find everything. Let me know how you guys find it. And if you, what's it called? If you find it easy to find all the decorative things. Here I'm just like bumping the stairs over a little bit. I did end up blocking those windows with that curtain I put over there, but I do change it later. Here I'm just changing up the colors a little bit because I couldn't decide what kind of color scheme I wanted in the living room. I know that I use a lot of pinks and blues throughout the house, so I guess those are the different kinds of color schemes you'll see around. Just adding some older paintings in our house, and I stuck that one over there for later, I guess. Adding some kind of gold finishings. Yeah, I don't really find a super cohesive color in this room. The reference I was looking at definitely had a bunch of like older colors and browns that The Sims definitely didn't have available. I did put a little steering wheel on the wall, you'll see there. Part of the storyline is that um, the grandma who lives in this house, her husband was a fisherman, and he's passed now, but she has a bunch of fisherman decorations throughout her house still. Some pictures of boats and stuff, and the steering wheel that are all part of like the pets pack. So over here I'm just doing the kitchen, trying to decide what kind of counters I wanted to do, but it's definitely a very pinky kitchen, and I love how it matches the window seat that we have there. Just adding some bar stools. Um, yeah, I really love like the pinky color that I used in here. Very cute kitchen. This arrangement of counters I thought was very interesting. Reminds me of some like more realistic kind of like dysfunctional kitchens that you'll see in older houses that are kind of like small or like cramped together. So I think that's kind of what inspired this. I didn't really use any reference in particular. And then I also kind of wanted her to have a dining room or like a sitting area besides just the what's it called? The island. But I couldn't really find a space to put it, so we do end up extending side of the house later. So I'm just moving things around here, trying to find a place to put the fridge. Yeah, we end up putting it over there, and then I'm not sure, maybe the island is centered or not. It might be off by a little bit. I hope that doesn't bother anyone. But I just found that it fit best there. And then, yeah, so over here we're just extending for the dining room. That ends up being like a really cute extension and very homey, and place where you can do homework or read books and just eat together. Yeah. Their family isn't super large, but I think it's a good size house for them. Not too spacious, but not too cramped either. Yeah, so we're just adding some bins in the kitchen because I always forget the bins. It's just like you're making the kitchen and then you didn't leave any space to put the garbage can, so you're just like, oh no, I gotta like stick it in somewhere. Or at least that's what always ends up happening for me. I don't know about you guys. Here I'm just putting the top cabinets in, and I couldn't decide which height to put them. I don't know about you, but I just never find the right height for my cabinets. I'm like, it's either way too high or like way too low and like cramped or whatever. Yeah, here we're just adding a little coffee pot and some more random kitchen decorations to make it seem more homey. Yeah, little teal dish rack to complement the pink on the walls. And a little rug here. I always end up putting a rug in the kitchen for some reason. I guess I have a rug in my kitchen, so I guess that's why. Maybe to catch any water or just comfy to stand on. And then over by here, we're just adding a nice rug and coat rack by the front door. Yeah, I think not this house wasn't necessarily inspired by my own grandparents' house, but kind of just like grandma's house in general or something. I know that my grandma definitely keeps her house nice and tidy and clean and everything's in its spot. Yeah, she recently just like repainted and did all her floors and stuff, and thought that was pretty cool. Um, I think originally I did want to use like a carpet in the living room or something, but then for some reason I never like using the Sims carpets. They always just look so funny to me. I don't know about how you guys feel about them. So we're just adding some decorations on the wall, a little like parenting chart and pots and pans on the wall over there, a coat rack, some things in our dining room. Yeah, just moving some decorations around because I'm finally finding all of these sort of like older grandma-esque looking decorations that are like a little more, what's the word? Kind of like vintagey style, older. I don't really know how to describe it. But here we're adding these cute little dining chairs. I think these ones are part of the Pets pack. They're super cute with like the arms and then they have like a frilly cushion. I know that we do have a chair like that in my house too, and it's like my favorite chair. I don't think it has arms though, it just has like a fun cushion. But yeah, I definitely love these chairs in that pack. And then putting in this little, I think it was the Brindleton Bay, the Pets World, that painting there. And then these curtains. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of pet pack items used in this house. Just moving the window around. And then I did want to put a little desk area in her house too. So I think over here we're gonna plop in the desk. And then I think a little later we're also gonna add a whole bunch of little pets items because Grandma also owns two little kitties, Leo and Snugs, I think their names are, and they're super cute and so fluffy, and I love them. And we'll add like a little pets bowls and like some litter box, and it'll be like Grandma's job to like clean out her kitty litter box and things like that. So I thought that would be really cute. Here we're just like sectioning off the bedrooms. I did want the main character Monique to have a cool vampire bed. I was thinking maybe like a coffin in her room too, even though she can't sleep in a coffin, but we just went with the vampire bed. And bringing the floors up here. And then for her grandma's room, I wanted to make it super like kind of crazy cat lady looking. So we just put a bunch of random cat things in there later. And then in Monique's room, we also have a nice bookshelf because she is a bookworm. And then I thought, because she's also a teenager, so I thought she might be a little fashiony. So we have a cool wardrobe, but I just switched it out for this one. Excuse me. Also, I do end up putting a whole bunch of mirrors in her room because I'm just like, oh, I think it's kind of like ironic how like vampires aren't supposed to see their reflections, and then, well, she'll be a human to start with, so she can see herself in the mirror, but maybe later on, I don't remember if vampires in The Sims can see their own reflections or not, but, yeah, maybe she won't be able to see her own reflection in like these big mirrors later on. Here I'm just like trying out a few different wallpapers. we do go with the super cool like black and white vampire wallpaper. So excuse me, I'm just taking a drink. And then I put these cool vampire paintings in the hallway, kind of like Monique gave them to her grandma or something. But yeah, I do move them over because we have to put a window in. I think usually when I'm building, either I just go for kind of like the aesthetic from the outside, where I just like look at how the windows will look on the outside, or like basically do most of the designing from the inside. So I put the windows where I'd like them to be on the inside of the room. That makes sense? So they don't always look super great on the outside. And then I did put this giant vampire tome book in her room that would be like, oh, she found this somewhere. And then that's what like triggered her curiosity to like go and look for vampires or want to become a vampire, learn more about them and stuff like that, and visit Forgotten Hollow, the vampire world. Yeah, so over here, I was struggling just a bit trying to put, trying to fit the bed into her room. So I did end up moving the washroom closer to Monique's room. Here I'm just putting in some side tables. And then I also took out this little, I unlocked game entitlements or whatever the cheat is called. And I got a little kind of cat carving that her husband would probably have made for her. So we're going to put that in Granny's room. So I'm just putting a little mirror above the vanity. Again, her room is very pink, and I thought the like the teal and the blue complemented that very well. Her grandma also really loves to read, so we're just putting in a bookshelf in her room, adding some lighting to all of the bedrooms, and putting in this kind of like old, there's like the lantern light that's kind of like old looking, and then that funny like nipple light on the top of the ceiling, and of course like the old curtains that came with the pet pack. I also added in this little chair for her to read her books in her room. Just changing up the colors of the vanity, and then moving onward, I'm just working on her father's room. The Probably that room next door was originally maybe the grandpa's room if they didn't like to sleep together, or maybe like his childhood room. So he's moving back into the small room. It's like really small and cramped in that room, but I just tried to fit some necessity things. Probably won't be able to use that dresser, but that's okay. Just like a mirror, some paintings, basic little rug. And then over here, I'm just going back to work on the bathroom, grandma's bathroom, and she again got some pink and some blue. I also gave her a bathtub because I thought maybe she was having mobility problems or something, so she could only take baths, and she was like afraid of like slipping in the shower or something like that. And then like of course, well, I was gonna put the litter box in her room, but actually there was no space, so I think I stuck it in another washroom somewhere. So just doing the walls and adding a towel, and of course like the toilet paper by the toilet. Um, yeah, that's something I always add in all my builds. I have like the toilet paper. Some people think like the toilet paper is like a waste of money, and it's like, oh, who cares? It's like so little, and no one even notices it or whatever. It costs $50 and it's a waste of money and stuff like that. But I think the toilet paper is important. It's like if the Sims don't have to like restock their toilet paper, so the $50 is like their lifetime supply of toilet paper, I guess. So yeah, I completed like the other washroom off screen, so you'll see those in the screenshots soon. But here I'm just like doing the roofing, adding the roof to the porch, finishing off some details on the outside. I think I did also add like a little garden for Granny to plant some like catnip or something. I got them the really cute kitty mailbox that came in the pet pack. And then, yeah, so she'll have a little garden where she can plant some catnip, and just like take care of that, I guess, because she doesn't have a job, so I wasn't quite sure what she was going to do throughout the Let's Play, so yeah, I guess the cats are her job. Just adding some things to the exterior here. Some little flowers and some other little decor, trees. Yeah, so that's mostly it for the build, I guess. In the end, you'll see the screenshots. I finished off the other little washrooms and just like seeing the whole exterior. I did put a funny little cat topiary next to the catnip garden. I thought that was really cute. And then just adding some simple bushes. I don't really do much, what's it called? I don't remember what it's called. The scenery, the flower planting, and I don't do like a ton of exterior usually on my builds. I just add some like simple flowers and some bushes or something. I did decide to do a bit of like, oh, that's what it's called, landscaping. I did some dirt painting and stuff on the outside for the landscaping. But other than that, I don't really do much. Maybe I'll add some like kid stuff, some like swings or like monkey bars. So here we have the house and the screenshots. So here we have our kitchen, and then over on the other side of the stairs is the dining room. And then we got the desk that I did put in, and then through the archway to the living room. Oh, also the bathroom's at the end of the hall near the desk. We have our living room. Those windows are still covered by that curtain, but I will fix that. Then we go upstairs to the hallway, and here we have Monique's lovely vampire-y room. It still has some fun like teenagery colors, but it's also like vampire style. And then we have the washroom, her grandma's bedroom, and her grandma's washroom. Here we have her dad's bedroom, and then the overall, the floor plan of the house. Yeah, so I guess that's it for the build. Thanks so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and let me know what you guys think of the house.